I'm going to tell you now why I have not yet published a review on the X-T5. Hi everyone and welcome to Pal to Tech. I have been testing out the Fujifilm X-T5 that I purchased about a month ago. Not only that, but because of the kind support from B&H Photo, they sent me a demo unit as well. So I have been testing with two different X-T5 cameras. Whenever I test a camera, two of the biggest aspects of that camera I want to take a look at are ergonomics and autofocus. Between the two, autofocus is actually in some ways more important for a YouTube reviewer to cover. And that's because ergonomics is so specific to the individual using the camera. Some people hate the flippy screen, right? Some people love it. Same thing about the hand grip. You get the point. But autofocus is a major deal. It's the major decision point for a lot of photographers when it comes to choosing a good camera. And with the X-T5, since it's using the new autofocus system in the X-Trans 5 processor, this is the most complex autofocus system that Fujifilm has ever released. But with more complexity comes more testing time, whether it's animal face-eye auto detect or all of the new subject detection modes. And of course, there's also the usual stills and video autofocus testing that needs to be done. However, the other day, I did run into an issue with the 10 to 24 millimeter lens. Have a look at this right here where I had the camera set to face-eye auto detect. I had all the other settings absolutely correct, and yet the camera flipped in and out of autofocus of my face way too often for a shot like that. But here's the thing, I only tested this lens that one time, and given those results, I absolutely have to test it again. The 10 to 24 millimeter is actually a really important lens for Fujifilm video use, and a lot of my viewers own one. Also, are there any other lenses causing this issue that I should be aware of? Here's the thing, if this were 3.5 years ago when I first started this channel and I had maybe 500 subscribers, there would already be an X-T5 video published. I would have simply said, you know, the camera's great, but well, it might kind of suck with autofocus with this lens, but have at it. But when you get above a certain level of subscribers and you're receiving messages all the time from people who are taking your advice very seriously on purchasing decisions, this affects how you approach your YouTube videos. It makes you both mindful and cautious to publish a major review on a camera like the X-T5, especially if I've not fully tested everything out, or if I see a concern in one test result, and at this point I don't have that level of confidence in my review yet. There is still more that I want to test out. If a number of you were hoping for a detailed, in-depth review in time for holiday purchasing, I'm very sorry to disappoint you. The only thing I could tell you would be to go check out other YouTube channels that you trust who have finished their review of the camera and do some research to determine if this camera is right for you. I do want to be very clear about something. It has been only the 10 to 24 millimeter lens issue for me thus far, and it may be something that I'm still doing wrong that I want to dig into further and figure out. So for now, all I'm going to say about this camera is that my testing on all the other stuff thus far has gone very, very well. I am planning on releasing a full hands-on review of the X-T5 very soon, but most likely it will not drop until the new year. Now, this is a conscious decision I am making for two reasons. The first is that I don't yet feel comfortable wrapping up the single most important part of the video, which is, toward the end where I give my conclusion and recommendation. I still need more testing time and retesting. And the second reason is mostly personal. I am simply unwilling to do all of this additional testing at the expense of spending time with my family during the holidays. I would resent doing the video, and that resentment would lead toward resentment of doing the channel in general. I recently watched a video on Parker Walbeck's full-time filmmaker channel on work-life balance, and it made me seek out this old Ed Sullivan show that had this guy on who would spin these plates. Check this out. Look at how he has all these different plates in the air spinning all at the same time. However, he has to constantly divide his time and attention to make sure that he keeps these plates spinning, because if he forgets one and he focuses too much on another, that plate will drop. And honestly, I feel like running this YouTube channel and trying to plug in at the same time and be the kind of dad that I want to be to my kids, or the kind of husband I want to be to my wife, that I have all of these plates up in the air. And I'm right now feeling that I need to turn to the plate that's starting to slow down and respin it again. So for all these reasons, the X-T5 video will come out in January, and I very much look forward to you seeing it. There will be additional videos for this channel up sometime until mid next week. I'm not sure of the date yet. And then I will be taking a hiatus and no videos at all until January. In the meantime, I will be back in a video tomorrow, and I'll see you then. Thanks for watching.